because her future in-laws showed no respect for her parents. She made the decision to walk away from a relationship 7 years in the making. In the painful days that followed, she chose to come home, back to her mom and dad. Her sudden return caught her parents completely off guard, and they couldn't have been happier. Her dad dragged out the space heater for her, while her mom got straight to work in the kitchen. Then her dad came back with a soft cushion for her to sit on. Heartbroken as she was, she felt wrapped in warmth. The table was covered with all her favorite foods, and her mom snuck in a piece of broccoli on the side. She wasn't a big vegetable person, but there was no saying no to her mom's cooking. They'd agreed to keep lunch simple, just noodles, but even the noodles turned into a full spread the way her mom made them. Before the sun was even up one morning, her dad came home with a bag of red bean buns. She was still chewing a kimchi pancake when her mom started simmering a pot of bone broth in the kitchen. She'd barely been home a week, yet the food just kept on coming. Her mouth and her stomach were never empty, and watching her dad haul in yet another crate of fish, she realized she hadn't had time to be sad about the breakup. Her parents were doing everything they could to heal their daughter. The only one not playing along was her little brother.
나가니까 누나 보고 싶냐? 어? 네.
너 차였지? 네가 차인 거지? 와, 영범.
A few days later, in the pitch-black hours of early morning, her dad suddenly woke her up, saying he wanted to take her somewhere. Still half asleep and exhausted, she snapped at him. Her dad didn't quite know what to do with himself. But the moment he left the room, she was already filled with regret. Back when she used to travel with her ex, she'd been up and ready by 4 in the morning without complaint. She got dressed and came out not long after, only to find her dad had been sitting in the living room waiting for her the whole time. It was Sunday, his one day off, and he wanted to spend it taking his daughter to watch the sunrise. To keep the family going, he had never once slept in. She noticed his hands were cracked and raw from the cold. Every time she talked with her dad, she had to fight back tears. He told her it was perfectly fine if she never got married. Her parents would take care of her for the rest of their lives. As he said those words, the sun had already begun to rise above the water. Her dad turned his head toward the horizon. But what she saw was how much he had aged. The father who had once seemed so tall and unshakable, now had silver threading through his hair. Later that day, her mom tried to set her up on a blind date, but she felt like the timing was all wrong. Everyone on the island knew the engagement had fallen through. Jumping back into dating this fast would just give people something to laugh about. What she didn't know, though, was that her mom had never actually sent out the invitations, because she knew her daughter through and through. She was never the kind of woman who would swallow her feelings just to keep a man. Soon she noticed that her mom had been writing poetry in an old household accounting notebook. After she left, the house fell quiet and empty once again. But on the table sat the things she'd left behind. She had given her mom a proper journal to write her poems in, and for her dad, a tube of hand cream.